If you're tired of books and you're looking for a free online tool that can give you all the scales and chords that you need to know, then this video is for you. Hi guys, Nyesha here from Nyesha Keys, and today I'm gonna show you something really cool that you can use for scales and chords. So if you click on the link in the description below, or if you just select it and put it into your browser, so I'm just gonna do that now and click enter, you will get to this page here, which I believe is probably the most comprehensive list of chords and scales that exists online today. To be honest, I'm pretty impressed by what's happening here. So this was developed by a guy called Scott Davis, and was last updated on the 6th of April as of the recording of this video right here. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So you give this page a set of musical notes or chords, and it will tell you what chords and scales contain or are contained by the set. So it's pretty cool that it actually just groups these things for you. And then it's got some pointers that you can have here. And then of course you can have some options like show chords or scales with a root, and then you can choose a root note. Accidentals, if you want sharps or flats, I think I'll just show both sharps and flats for now. And then you can, after you've done all these settings, you can actually bookmark this version of like the database, right? So that you can just go onto it. So if you're working on something in the key of E flat, and you want it to be in flats only, then you can set up everything and then bookmark that version. You know what I mean? But anyways, the cool thing is, okay, before I do that, let me just show you what we have here. The cool thing is, if you put in a note C, E, and G, for instance, right? So I put in C, E, and G. Those are three notes, right? And I say find chords and scales, right? Find chords and scales. So what it does then, it comes in. So this section was going to be your chords, and this section is going to be your scales. And it tells you, first of all, what the chord is, which is a C major in this case. And then it gives you chords that contain a proper superset of your notes. So these three notes are a subset of these chords, which is, I think, is pretty cool. So you can extend the chord to give you these chords. I think this is just having that at your disposal can just give you so many ideas. So for instance, a C dominant 7, we know it's got to have and here of course I've got sharps and flats, so I've got A sharp or B flat, but I can come here and let's use sharp versions only, right? Once we do that, as you can see, you now have C, E, G, and A sharp for that dominant 7. Gives you all the chords that contain a C, like C, those three notes, right? Which is pretty cool. And then the other cool thing is you can actually see the scales that contain those three notes. So it looks at these notes, and then it says these are the scales containing a proper superset of your notes. So for instance, C major scale contains C, E, and G. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty dope. So if you want to do an improvisation of a chord, you can put in the notes in your chord, and then you've got an option of the scales you can use to improvise if you're doing something like jazzy or whatever. So I think that's pretty useful. And then at the end here, it can give you chords containing a proper subset of your notes. So for instance, this chord C5 just contains C, G, which is a subset of C, E, and G, as you can see here. So I think this can become really interesting. Let's put in a C diminished chord, right? So that's going to be, I know a C diminished chord is going to have a C, it's going to have a E flat. I think it has to be small letters. There we go. Actually, you know what? You don't even have to type. This is so cool. You can come in, and then I know a C diminished is this, this, and that. That's a C diminished, right? And then bam, that's it, boom, and then you have it. So chords containing exactly your set of notes, and then of course you only have 3 diminished 7 chords, and these are the versions of the C diminished 7th version of the diminished chords, right? And then you now have all these other chords which contain these exact notes, so pretty much extensions of this chord. This is, guys, I don't know. This is so cool. And then you've got subsets. Of course, you've got these subsets like of the chord. And then you've got all the scales that contain those notes. This is, guys, this is the best time to be alive. So this is cool in that it's not a book, because with a book you've got tons. I've got a book that has got like tons of pages of like this and that, and you've got tables of this and that, and it's just you just need to like go through tons of pages to get to, you know, this sort of information. But right here it's all in one place. You can literally change your parameters and get all the chords and scales at the same time. Like all right, so I've just cleared everything here. To clear all the inputs, you just click on clear input, and then basically it becomes blank again. And one thing I should have probably started with is each of these here can actually be an input, right? So I'm gonna start with the scale, and this is cool, right? So let's say I come and I put in an E flat major scale, right? Set this input, and all of a sudden I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which are the scale degrees of the major scale, right? And when I check these, of course I've got these chords here, which are 13ths, which contain every note in the scale. But then what I get are the diatonic chords in this major scale. So here, these subsets actually become the diatonic chords that I can use. So I can use each of these chords here in this scale, and they will work. So that, for me, that is really cool. So if I just want to know which chords can I use in this scale without like breaking, without doing alterations or going outside the scale, then you can use this, right? So let me clear the input again and show you something really cool. So if I come in and hit like a major 7, and they say add this chord, right? So now I've got an A major 7, right? Of course it can show me how an A major 7 looks, but and of course the notes in A major 7. But another cool thing is, let's say I come here on the A major 7 and I put a F sharp, right? F sharp, or I could have just selected the note here, right? So now I have an F sharp and an A major 7. This could represent my bass note, right? So this could represent my bass note, right? Or you could just come in and say scales with root, and then I come in and say my root, which is my bass note in this case, is F sharp, right? So I've got an F sharp and an A major 7, and I can see what that implies, which is really cool, because sometimes you play a bass note and you play a chord and you're trying to figure out what is like the result, what am I holding. And this is really cool because I've just put in an A major 7, then an F sharp, and now I know it's gonna be like a F sharp minor 9. Let me just change this so that we can see them as sharp versions, and bam, that's it. Like, guys, this is, I don't think there's an app out there or a application or a database that is so dynamic where you can do these kinds of things. So this is the best tool I've found so far in terms of scales and chords. If you guys know of any other tools that you guys are using for scales and chords, or even anything else in music, then leave a comment in the description below and I'll be sure to check it out. Alright, this is Nyasha here from Nyasha Keys, signing out.